Hi guys, it's Erin, and I hope you can hear me alright because this time I'm going to be sitting down. I figured that I would do the long anticipated showing of my completed coloring pages in all of the books that I toured, like a week ago or something like that. So, get a cup of coffee and, I have some tea so I can talk. And, this will probably be long, and I might do it in parts just so I don't end up coughing at you for too long. So I don't really know where to start, so I'm just going to start with the first book that happened to be on this pile that I have here. And this is Anamorphia by Kirby Rosanes. And I have, what I do when I finish the books, or finish a page, is I put a little flag. And it's either a blue or a green one means it's finished, and a pink or an orange one means it's not finished. And for this one, the entire book has an orange one, because pretty much the entire book is in progress. I did it the way that like Dee Dee Willingham does, where you do like backgrounds and washes on stuff. I first started with acrylic washes like she did, but I found I really don't like that. I don't like the texture that it gives, and I don't like what it does to my pencils. So I stopped using acrylic. This was one of the first ones, so that's why it's got that shiny Americana acrylic-ness to it. But after that, I started using Neocolor 2. And so this is just a wash. That isn't how it's finally going to be. But most of the pages in this book have been either touched already, or they have notes on them of what I plan to do. So if I'm out, I can go and do that. And there was, well, there are still, but there was a couple of periods of time where I couldn't even like hold a pen or anything. So what I did was plan out colors and what I wanted to do. And, just using inspiration from other places and, combining it together to how I wanted mine. Like, the color scheme for this page is very similar to one I saw on Pinterest, but then I'm going to put, I simplified the feathers, and I'm going to put, like, stars and stuff here. And then you can see this is the wash, and then this is what the final feathers will look like when I add pencil detail. You can sort of see it. And then the stars and stuff. So I just kind of go in stages depending on what I want to work on, and if I don't want to do anything serious, then I can just go through and do bits and pieces here and there. And like this was based on an actual silhouetted photo of the Serengeti I found somewhere. And so I just kind of drew it in. And, random color schemes like that. But the one blue flag is this one that is actually finished, and I date my pages so that, when I finish them, well, so that I know, like, you don't care. You're not going to be looking more than this. So what I wanted to do in this book for most of them is pick a color scheme and then color the animal the way that it's normally colored. If you watch my other video, you probably already know that I have a realism problem. And these are animals that exist in real life. So I kind of have to, for myself, be real. And, yeah, so the jaguar looks like a jaguar or leopard. I forget what he is. But, leopard spots, right? Yeah. So, so I picked, what is that, 4 colors? Yeah, I think it's like 4 or 5 colors. And then I did it with Neocolor 2 and then, pencil detail. So that's that one. I'm just going to place them on the floor, so I hope you don't, like, hear them smacking around. This is the only one of the Morphia books that I did a page at a time, and it's one of the ones that I did just... like, I just worked on that page. I don't usually do that. It's very weird for me, but for some reason, this book made me want to. So, I have this in progress one, which again was the paint wash, because I had done this one, and I had extra paint. So I just kind of turned the page, and I went, okay, there's trees and grass here. So I'm going to have to either fix that or just go in with some more paint and just deal with it, because I really don't like the texture. I don't like how it came to the ends of, like, I hadn't been careful with the wash, and then trying to color between the grass and the dirt, like, the wash didn't get in all the places, and it just bugged me. I don't know. It's not for everybody. Like, you gotta try everything, and, sometimes it works for you and sometimes it doesn't. So... there's nothing wrong with it. And I've done this one. A lot of mine are easy to find in the books because they're wrinkly, they're mixed media. This one is Inktense and pencil and some watercolor. Actually, I think, yeah, Inktense on him and pencil, and then just straight watercolor on the background. And then this one, which is paint and I want to say just pencil. Probably, it probably had a watercolor wash, but yeah. So I did that. You can tell it's pencil because it's shiny. I use oil pencils. I use polychromos and Pablos. This might still be Prismacolor because I had them at one time. I don't have them anymore. I gave them away to my mom. I didn't like using them. So, judging by the coverage, I'm still going to say that it's probably Pablos. Just because of the texture. So, that's that. I actually have Imagimorphia, but I haven't done anything in it. So, yeah. I planned out stuff to do, but I haven't actually done anything. So, this one has a finished one, which I did this year, just in January. What I did with this one was I stamped a Prima image in there because I didn't want to draw, and I thought it was too plain to just be a wreath, so I drew, like, you know, an ocean shore kind of thing. And then I colored her in too. And this is Inktense and pencil. And then that one's in progress. This is all, what do you call it? This is all Prisma. This was like back when I first started. And I don't like it because it didn't smooth out correctly because I didn't know how to use them at the time. And I didn't really want to bother learning them. So what I might do with this is I might just straight up paint over it. Like, just make it all black. But you can see the idea was night side and then sunrise side. But there's enough in this book that if I really wanted to do that again and do it properly, now that I know how to do it properly, I could do that. So, next one. I'm pretty sure this is Korean, but I'm not positive. I just finished this recently. And I did shiny Prima paint up here. Because I don't know where they're looking from, but it's a very dreamy, trippy kind of book. And so I figured I would I'd just make it shiny behind them. And then realistic squirrels and cats and chipmunks, because that's who I am. And whatever those blue things are, and then fancy mushrooms. And that's done with Neocolor and Pablos. Magical Christmas, I finished 2 last year. I've only been doing this since January. Like, all of my completed things are January 2017 to now. So, like, it's all recent stuff. So, I haven't been coloring in coloring books very long. I've been coloring with Copics in stamped images for quite a long time, but yeah, the coloring books is more new. So I don't have like a ton of things finished because I have a lot of works in progress, as you'll probably see. So this is hero pencils, and which again I don't have anymore because I got like here and my pencil had broken so much I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to finish his suit. So I was totally freaked out. So I took it over with Pablos and I finished the rest because at least Pablos and polychromos I can rely on to never break. Ever. They never break. And I don't have to worry about them. And this one is mostly Inktense with a bit of pencil. So I finished those. And the white stuff is usually either Posca or the Uniball Signo. So excuse me. I'm gonna have some tea here in a second. This one is all Inktense. There's a video for it. You can pretty much see the entire thing as I color it. So, yeah. That one's all finished. I absolutely love this book, and it's one of those ones where I should have just straight done all 6 of these, of the Tale of this Little Wizard, but I didn't. And I have to go back and do it because that's why I bought the book. Well, Mike actually bought it for me because I was waiting for it to come down in price, and he's like, just screw it. Order the card already. So he ordered the card. This is Camilla de Erico's book, Pop Manga. I keep forgetting to read them, but again, like, they're all in my other video, and they're all, like, Coloring Queen and Color with Claire pretty much have flip throughs of every single book that exists on the planet. So if, like, I don't do flip throughs. So if you want to see a flip through of any of the books that I have, trust me, they have them. Because I don't buy without flip throughs. I don't. This is the only one that I finished in this book just because of, you know, time. Most of it is because I'm spoiled. Or I was. Right now I have to kind of be good. But I'm spoiled in general, and I got a lot of books at once. And sometimes I would get like 3 or 4 books at once. Or like this one time, 8 of them came because 2 came from America and a bunch came from the UK. And it was like, okay. You can only color in 1, and then by then you want to move on and like, or you start 7,000 works in progress, and it's a whole big thing. And of course, we live right next to a CreateSpace processing or printer for Amazon. It's in San Bernardino, which is like an hour and a half away from us, 2 hours. So they just have to drive it up here. But, so all of those books are really, really fast. So, yeah, I have a lot of those because they're really, I mean, they don't even take 2 days to get here. They take a day or like half a day if you, depending on when you order it. That's kind of insane. This is an example of when I do a 2-page. So, you see, I have the page here, and I started coloring this at my parents' house when they bought it for me on my birthday. And you can see I didn't finish it until 7/14, or 7/4 instead of 6/24, which is my actual birthday. But this is Neo's. This is Inktense. He's Inktense and Prisma. I think he's Prisma. No, it's not shiny enough to be Prisma. Well, he's one of them. And then for this, like, this is what my mom had, so, you know, these are the colors of the background, so that when I want to do the second side of it, I know what colors to use. And I have this tape stuff, and it's basically all, it's paper tape that's sticky on the other side, so you can just kind of, well, you don't have to use that, I tend to rip it. But it's white, so I can sample the colors and everything, and then see what they actually look like, and then write down. You'll see in the other books, but yeah. So that's the only one I finished that in that book. But my goal this year is to finish 1 in every book, so the ones that I have 1 finished are good. You know. This is one of the most recent ones I just finished. And this is Pablo's pencils and Posca paint pens. And the reason I did that was because I started right here with watercolor, and it didn't like watercolor with a water brush. It was too much. It was too uncontrolled, so there was like a teeny bit of ghosting, and I just didn't want to deal with doing it correctly, because there is a way, like, you can use watercolor on everything. Every kind of paper you can use watercolor on. You just have to pay attention to your water. And it's just a matter of if you want to pay attention to your water, and I did not. So I just used pencils because I wasn't feeling well, and I said, you know what, I want to color in this book, and I don't feel like dealing with the craziness that it's going to require. I'm going to take a sip of tea, just a second. Much better. I'll try not to smack in your ears. This one was done with Marco Raffines, which I also do not like and do not use. But I had them, and I wanted to try them, because you can't know if you don't like something if you don't try it. So I tried it. Didn't like it. The background is acrylic paint, straight up acrylic paint, not a wash. And then these dots are done with the Super Tips, which I probably won't do again because I did this before I finished it and my hand rubbed it off, which, okay, you know, don't do that. Do it as a last thing. But now I'm like afraid that it's going to rub off on anything. I mean, I don't think it should, but yeah. And this is one of those ones where, like this one, like Villain Sun, here. See, because it's got a frame, but I hate frames. I'm not a frame person. And so when I did this, I simplified it a lot. This is not as intricate as that frame was, because I don't like frames. So the same thing with this. This had a frame and I painted it out. It's no offense to the artist because he's great, but he's actually really nice too. I just don't like frames, and the way I figure is I have so much to color that I actually want to color. Why spend time on things that I don't like? So that's my feeling on that. And like I said, your mileage may vary. If you want to spend time on all the intricate frames, you go for it. I have no problem with how anybody else wants to color. That's just for me. This one is also done with Marco Raffines. Again, that's not as vibrant as I like, and it was a lot of effort to try and get some color and some depth in it. So I was not a fan. This one, I painted all of this in with the Posca, and I just drew lines and stuff. The black is actually just straight up black paint. I use apple barrel paint for my black, and I love it because it's super, super matte. That's my favorite one. I didn't like the Americana as much as I like this apple barrel paint. So yeah. I think my dog just opened the bedroom door on me. Mike's in there babysitting the golden retriever. Well, it's not really babysitting when it's your own kid, but you know what I mean. So, I don't know why these are scratched. But I don't like dust covers, so yeah. That's why they don't have dust covers. So this one is one I worked on over Thanksgiving, and you can see here the samples. Now, I don't have the hero pencils anymore, so that sample doesn't really matter. But it's telling me the colors, and then I can just take the colors and match it to some Pablos. Maybe get some better depth of color in there. Yeah, I couldn't take the heroes breaking on me. I couldn't. It's like the Guan Hui ones. I'm not Chinese. I cannot pronounce Chinese. I'm sorry. I am so sorry to anybody that actually knows how to say that correctly. But yeah, I just couldn't with them. Like, it hurt my arm having to sharpen that much. And the background is Neocolor. This is all Neocolor wash, so it'll get covered over. You can see the half and half on her face of the shadows and the non-shadows, and I'm sure that with a more pigmented pencil I'll get more depth in there. So yeah. And then this is the one that I actually finished, like this guy here, which I don't know why he's so dirty. But he'll get covered over, so it's not that big a deal because he'll get colored. Like this guy here, these guys had no background or anything like that. I drew all of that in. This is all Neocolors, Neocolor wash, and then this was done with Pablos. So yeah, I really like the skull color I got on this one. And yeah, it's like super, super gory. I like it. So yeah. And usually what I do is I'll take my color recorder thing. And like if I look, those are probably chromos. If I look under the Pablos, you can see the brown colors. So that's Walker skin, which would be her skin there. And then the bone is the colors there. So I have it written down in a more general way if I've already completed the page. So if I want to go back, this one says feathers. I'm assuming it's these feathers. I can even go back and do that. Or he's probably going to be like a black vulture, but The point is, if I finish the page, the color combination goes in here if it's something I want to use again. And I just made those inserts, and that's one of those paint your own traveler's notebook things. So yeah. This one is watercolor background, and then the kids and the frame were all just straight Pablos instead of having a watercolor wash. And so yeah, I decided on just coloring these the way I wanted, and then I didn't really know how to color his outfit, so I did a lot of research on, clown outfits and patterns and all of that stuff, and like the old school stuff, and then I found one that was like all splattered in blood, and I thought that was cool, so I splattered him in blood, and then I have the color combination of blood in there, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, because there's going to be a lot of blood in here. I don't know why I'm lisping weirdly, but there you go. So yeah. There's that one. These were sitting, like, not by size. So, it looks like I've only finished one in here. And that was this fall. I'm going to say Neocolor Wash and Pablos. That's too close. There you go. So you can see that. And, every picture that I've actually finished and most of my works in progress are available on my Instagram and on my Facebook and on my Twitter. So, like, as I'm working, I put all of these things and you can see them all. So this is more of just a live showing, and especially, like, when the photos don't work. God, I hate when the photos don't work. This one is a lot prettier in the photo because the white was actually white. You're getting to see most of the white. It looks like from my camera, if I hold it like this, it looks white. But in real life, the white pen absorbed the watercolor. So it's not white. which is kind of a bummer. But the photo for Instagram I took instantly after I finished this, and it's still white. But yeah, that was what happened with the this guy. The Uniball Signo, it took all of the color. And this is Inktense and watercolor. And then there's this one. This one I stamped the bird in there because it's the same wreath issue as I just thought it was a little too plain. And so I thought I would use a cute little bird, and I did look up pictures of birds and decide what kind of bird I wanted in there. And then this one. And that background is Neocolor. Yeah. And then this one's work in progress. I was going to do that color along thing, but you can see how far I got. Yeah. And this is all Inktense, and the reason I stopped was because I didn't like the background. So, I'll fix it. Nothing's ever ruined. I mean, the worst comes to worst, I will paint all of that black and start over. Like, straight up black. It can just be a really, really, really dark night. You know, it's never lost. It's never totally ruined. And again, I started on that. Didn't finish it. This one is winter, but we had no winter. Like, SoCal, I don't know about, like, Mammoth Lakes or Tahoe, but our ski resorts have been making snow, and they didn't get to make snow until mid-December. Because we haven't gotten more than 2 inches of snow, and we have 2 ski resorts, okay? So you're saying, oh, well, you live in California. Well, I live in California where there are 2 ski resorts in this town. We did not get enough snow for them. So yeah, that's how bad the drought is here in California. NorCal is fine. SoCal is still in a bad drought. And so I didn't feel like coloring snow stuff. So all of these things are from January 17, because January and February 18 are dry as a bone. But yes, this sky is Inktense because I learned, because Inktense will dry and Inktense is permanent. So once I put it on there and then I put all the snow on there, it didn't bleed through because Inktense is permanent. So yeah. So this is Inktense and pencil, probably Prisma. So yeah, that's what I got finished in that. Literally just today, I finished a page in here, and here you can see that it's white, and so these are the Inktense colors, and this is the Neo color, which you could see if I would hold it up instead of trying to show you things like an idiot. So because I only wanted to do one side, so yeah, I finished this side, and now I know what colors to use on the next side. I just felt like doing a jellyfish. And then that's one I colored over Thanksgiving, but I didn't finish it yet, obviously, because it's got a little pink flag. And like sometimes I'm cute and I coordinate it, so like this is finished and it's water based, so it's got a blue flag. And sometimes I'm just an idiot and it means nothing. I don't know why this one doesn't have a flag, so I'm going to give it a flag. And it needs a blue flag, so I find the flags very helpful, obviously. Not that I can't already find things, but when they're on my shelf, I can look. So, this one should probably get a green one because it's about a frog, but it gets a blue because it's underwater. This one is done with Neocolor, directed paper, and polychromos. I was trying to think of the word. What's the word polychromos? So, yeah, I finished that one. And what I should have done is I should have written down her colors, but I know polychromos so well that I can just kind of look at that and know what colors they are. So I'm not too fussed about it. But yeah, she's in here for the whole book. It's her story. So what I should have done, and I did it on a different one, is like where they show the characters. They do it in another part. Where they show the characters, I would write down, I don't know where it is, but it's in there. I would write down the colors with that little sticky tape so that I can use it consistently throughout the book. And again, another one that I didn't put flags on, but I'm going to now, so you get to see me flagging things. This one is A Million Christmas Cats. There are not a million in here, but there are quite a lot. And this one is glittery because my parents got me gel pens for Christmas. And normally gel pens are not something I would buy myself. I have them because my parents bought them for me. And I figured I might as well use them. So you have glittery. I am not a glitter person. I am more of a subtle shine person. This is sort of on the subtle shine area, so that's fine. I've usually just been against gel pens because you can't, like, the depth of shading is not what I can get with pencils or, you know, Copics or any of the other things that I use, and I'm just not used to it. Like, I would rather have the more control, right? So. And then this, like, this is what happens when I try to glitter, is I just make a freaking mess. Like, this is a total mess. I hate the snow. I drew all of this in because, as you can see, this is where the line stops. So that's the dark line. I drew all of this because I thought it was extremely plain. But I love the idea of this little cat is just trying to ski, and he didn't make it. So he's just like, oh, okay. So yeah, he's like all happy. And then I drew his little, I don't know if you can see it, but his cheeks are red because it's cold. Cats don't have cheeks, but whatever. I mean, they do, but they don't get red. So... yeah, it's very glittery, and I like the, I like how the gel pen worked on this one. I don't know what gel pen that is, if you can see it. I don't know what gel pen that is specifically, but I want more of those, like silver. I'm about that. Oh wait, that one needs a flag too. Derp. Please wait during the flagging process. The flagging process will be done soon. There. It's even a fun process. I don't know why I wouldn't have done it. This one is another one I recently finished. Yeah, see, January 5th. The background is Distress ink, and this is all Prisma, because that's all I had at the time. The rest of this, and this is Polychromos. I don't know why I can't remember that word right now. I would say that it's late, but it's only 8:30 and my alarm's about to go off, but... you can see my alarm telling me to take medicine. Isn't that great? Because, yeah, it's really late tonight. This one, I've only done one image in. I did it, like, right away. And then I just didn't come back to the book. And I have no idea why, but yeah. So, I didn't write down when I did it. Oh, yeah, I did. It's on the back. February 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2017. That's how long that took. Yeah, that's Inktense and pencil accents. Probably Prisma accents because it's very shiny. Okay, so the next thing is I got this idea from Dee Dee Willingham because probably everybody knows that. She takes the 8.5 by 11 stuff out of her books and puts them in a binder, which I was like, no, I want a book that's finished, and that way you can look through it and, you know, whatever. But then I realized there were some books that I'm just never going to finish because I don't want to. There's some images in books that I just don't want to color, and I have so much I do want to color that, you know, why put myself through that? So why not have a place to showcase all of the things I did want to color? And then, like, if I do finish the book or finish enough of the book or finish as much as I want from the book, I could put the cover in there and it'll be like the book is finished, sort of. So, yeah, that's why I have a binder. And I took my scrapbook paper and I decorated the front of all of the things. They don't pertain to anything. It was just paper that I thought was pretty and would work for this because I didn't want to use it for a scrapbook page. And it's the same with this. It's just little tabs that I made from cutting rectangle pieces of paper and gluing them onto the sheet protector. So I'm hoping that you can see this. And I'll do this, but I don't want to take them all out of the things because that's annoying. This is one I just finished. There, see? It's telling me to take medicine. So I have on here where this came from. This came from Cat Doodles by Ronnie C. Pios. And it was finished on January 22nd, 2018. And usually I will just do the finish date instead of how many days it took me to finish, because it's like an average between a day to 4 or 5. Some things take a week because it depends on if my hands work. It depends on how I'm feeling. Like if my cystic fibrosis is being annoying, then I'm not getting anything done. But this is a Create Space picture colored with Prisma, or not Prisma, with Copics and Distress Oxides for the background. And I thought the Distress Oxides came out really cool. So, yeah. This one was done for the new year, as you can clearly see. And it was started in Prisma like forever ago. I mean, months and months and months and months and months ago when I got the book. Like probably July. I started this guy, and I hated the coverage, and I hated how it was coming out, and so I just kind of left him. And then I came back with hero pencils, and I did some more, and it covered up a lot of the stuff that I hated. And then I stopped with that because I got rid of the hero pencils too, and I finished it up with Pablo's. So there are 3 different kinds of pencils on here. And you can't tell the difference, can you? Like, it looks fine. So, I'm glad it at least came out cohesive. I can tell the difference because I can tell the weird coverage, but that's me. I'm anal. So yeah, this was done on the 31st. And yeah, it has the titles and everything. And then if I eventually do finish all of these books, I'll put the covers in. And then you can flip the cover and see all the stuff that was inside. And it'll be neat. So yeah. This is my space octopus. I love my space octopus. He came out so cool. And I wanted to keep the rocket white. And, you know, so that the space octopus really needs to show up. I don't know why he's made out of a tree. But I think it's a really great idea. And this isn't how you do glow. I mean, especially, nothing glows in space. It wouldn't even work until it hit here. Because there's nothing for the light to refract from. But whatever. Who cares? There's no space octopi either. So yeah, I do what I want. This is the first time I've done gold on something. Most of the time I usually avoid gold because I really don't like gold. All of my rings and my jewelry are white gold or platinum. So yeah. But I did that. So this is People, Various. This is the only one I've gotten done so far. This is from the Gothic Minis. I just, again, it was an issue of it had a bunch of frame, and I hate frames, so I painted out what I could paint out, and I cut it. And I just colored her with watercolor and then, what do you call it? Pencil. The only thing is, if you're going to do this, don't do what I did and tape it down before you color it, because she's got lines in her where I colored, and there was the tape in the background. I used the ATG tape, and there's tape in the background. So yeah. This is already at 31 minutes, and I hope this isn't too long for you. I don't even know how I'm talking this long, honestly. So, I mean, heck, if it's too long, you can turn it off. It's up to you. People were asking me to do this video, so here I'm doing this video, okay? Sip of tea, sorry. This one is from an awesome book. This is one of those ones where I was like, you know, I really need to not buy anything for a while. And then Amazon's like, hey, like foxes, like fairies, here's a book called Foxes and Fairies. So that happened. This was done with Prismas and watercolor. And this is a lot of watercolor in the background. Oh, I might have to stop soon. No, I can breathe, I'm fine. Because I can't hold up stuff to you and do my medicine, because then I'll be shaking and it'll look like this. And you'll be like, I'm sick, Erin, what are you doing? So, yeah. The only thing I don't like about this is I screwed up the lantern. It should be dark on the outsides and light on the inside, and it's not. It's the other way around. So the folds are wrong, but whatever. But the rest of it's cool. I like that I did a black fox, because the example was not black, but I don't care. Yeah, Foxes and Fairies by Meredith Dillman, May 20th through 21st. See, that only took 2 days, so I just kind of went and put it in there. Again, more scrapbook paper that I didn't want to use for actual things. But yeah, this makes sure that I can't ever forget where what the book is. This one's by Sarah Burrier. Or Burrier, I don't know. She was done while watching a movie with Prismas. And then her wings and all of the other stuff was finished up with Pablo's. And the background is watercolor. So yeah, it all had a watercolor wash on it. I'm trying not to make it too shiny for you. According to my screen, it's working. So I hope it's fine for you, because I only have a little teeny tiny preview screen. It's like that big. So. But yeah, it's a real camera, so. This one is done all in Prismas and Neo colors, I believe. So Coloring Dragons by Amy Brown, and I have 2 of those. Isn't that awesome? I have colored 2 from a book. Look, Coloring Dragons too. It's the same book. So these pages are not related, but this one had an acrylic wash background, and again, it was horrendous. I really should not have done that. Like, look at the texture on her face. Can you see how gross that is? Look at, I mean, it looks like she has a skin disease. I don't know what kind of skin disease would cause that, but it looks like that's what she has. And so I will never do that again. Live and learn, people. Live and learn. But I love this dragon. He came out so cool. And I can show you like this. And you don't get any glare. Isn't that great? So yeah. On the opposite page, I did a galaxy very, very similar to the one behind him. But it was the back of another dragon, so it's going to get covered over. I have a photo of it, so I'm not too fussed about it. Basically what I did was I colored it on the back of the other paper to make sure that I can do it behind the dragon so I didn't wreck the dragon. Right? Practice. Practice your things. This one is landscapes and nature, so get prepared to see some landscapes. This one is a teeny house, but yeah, I didn't really like how this one came out. I don't know why. I don't like it. It's from Nice Little Town 1, and that was on the 31st. This one is from a Creative Haven book. This is done with those Guang Hui Hero pencils and watercolor wash, and then cover it over with the pencils. And this one I like. It looks cool. It took a couple days to do, but it was good for fall. I was surprised I got so few things done, but I deal with a lot of pain and sickness issues, so I guess getting anything done is more impressive. So, yeah. This one is done all with the Mark Over Fiends. These ones. I don't know why. You can see that it's just, the depth of color just isn't there. It's kind of bland. And it took 70,000 different layers to try and get, you know, just this amount of color on it. And I just, yeah. I like how it came out, and I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but it just, like, if we're going to put that much effort into something, I would rather it show more. Like, this was practically no effort, and look at how pretty. So, this is watercolor wash with just a bit of pencil accents, the Polychromos accents, and then some of the gel pen my parents got me. This is also a book my parents got me, so I figured that was appropriate, but you can see the gel pen glowing on her accents there. I don't know what they are, but yeah. So yeah, the color or the photo on this one did not do it justice, so at least this is one of the ones that will look better in filming, because I put a lot of effort into this one and it didn't show up. Her skin is Copic, and then just a little bit of pencil on top of it. That's why I bought the pencils all the way back in the day, you know, like 2013 or whatever, because I wanted to do more accents. And it's the same thing with this one. Her hair and her skin are Copic with pencil over it, and the rest is watercolor with pencil accents. So yeah. And this one's by Mardell Rubio. The other one was by Jade Summer, if you cared. This is one of the ones from Horrorland. I did a lot of Halloween, so yeah. This is one of the Horrorland. This is Men of Horror, I think. And I like the background behind him, the purple, and the walls came out kind of cool. So I like this one. And then this one was fun. This is from Fadorables, but the Halloween, the creepy edition. And it's called Fading Away, and it's just a little ghost girl. So that was fun. A lot of people asked how I did that. It's really not hard. Just color the background. So just color the moon or whatever you want to be behind her. Color that first. And then just super, super lightly go over the front. Like super lightly. You can barely, I mean, like if you look at it, you can barely see the pencil. So that's how she looks see-through, because there's just a teeny bit of blue over it. Sorry, I was having some more tea. My mouth is getting dry. But I'm surprised I've been talking this long. I'm actually impressed. So, yeah. And then I just did clouds. And I was really iffy about going over all of her lines in white. I didn't think that it would look very good. So I took a photo of before and a photo after. And it's a good thing that it worked out. But if it didn't, I was only ever going to show you the one that worked out. So it'd be like, yeah, that's not what it looks like in my book. But oh well. This one is watercolor and Coy Noir pencils. Yeah. And I thought this was super cute. And this is from the Kawaii Witches book. I have the Kawaii Witches and I have Kawaii Winter. And unfortunately the Kawaii Winter is more Christmassy. And Christmas had already passed when I got it, so I haven't colored in that yet. And like I said, we didn't really have a winter, so I didn't even feel like, ooh, it's chilly. It snowed for half a day, twice. So like 2 half days it snowed, and we got 2 inches of snow, and it was gone because it's California, it's sunny. So unless the temperature drops, it's sunny, it's gonna melt. So like I can't finish a snowy winter page while I'm feeling snowy and wintry in that amount of time, so screw it. This is another Mardel Rubio. This one is done with the Coy Noir pencils, and this is one of the reasons that I bought the book, is I really liked him. He looks so sad. Like, poor Frankenstein's monster is not chill at all. And I didn't like doing the moon though. It came out really well. I just didn't enjoy coloring it. So it was kind of like, oh my god, moon, just be done already. Just be done. Because I took way too long on it because I just wanted it to be done. And then this one is from that horribly designed book that I showed you, the Vampires book. And I just beat the crap out of the paper with watercolor to give them a watercolor wash. And I colored it because he looks like Benedict Cumberbatch, doesn't he? I mean, doesn't he? Like, look at a picture of Benedict and look at this. He looks like it, and I thought that was very trippy. Like, he could have been traced. And, yeah. So that's why I colored him, because I thought it would be cool. And I tried out the grayskin technique from Kitten Clowder, the coloring classes, and I didn't like how it worked out. But you gotta try it, right? So, yeah. I tried it for, you know, gray vampire skin, and no, I don't like it. I would just make a super pale human again. I don't know why he would be, like, gray and dead. Because then you can't pass for human, right? Like, you're trying to seduce this chick, and she's like, well, you look like you're a corpse. I don't need that. And it kind of reminds me of the vampires in Elder Scrolls Online, because, like, if you forget to feed on humans, you end up looking super gross. Like, wow. And then this one is not as vibrant as I would normally like, but it only took me half a day to finish, and it's tiny, so I can't really complain. This one is done with the Neocolor wash, and I'm gonna say Pablo's or Polychromos, one of the two. I don't really care what I used most of the time. And so, like, some things are obvious. Just looking at this, I can say this was all Inktense, even if I didn't have a video on how I did it, but I do. There's a video on my channel if you want to see this. This got sent to me by Alan Robert, the guy who does the Beauty of Horror books, and he said, hey, can you do this in a day? And I'm like, no. Like, because my husband had to print it out. I don't have a printer here. So this is actually printed on work copier paper, because this is my husband printing it out at work, but I got it done the next day for Alan, and I hope he liked it, because, yeah. And I filmed a little video of me finishing it, and I did, like, the cheapy way of making things shine, so you can see that the lights are shining, and yeah. I basically combined 3 of their promo photos to do this, because, yes, I actually look at real things to get the colors right. And especially since I don't watch the show, I was like, well, I need to know, right? So, yeah, this is like 3 of their promo shots, and then, like, the new season had this weird monster in the sky or something, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just make the sky that color so it's not all black. Because most of the promo photos were all black. It was like, everything's so dark. This one is Creative Haven book, and I did the dog to look like Maluka's, her dog Thor, because he's a chocolate lab, so I figured it looked enough like a lab, I can make it a chocolate lab. And yeah, she's a singer on YouTube, look up her name, because she sings really well. She's a singer on Twitter, or not Twitter, on Twitch too, but probably know her from her Dragonborn video, if you're, like, even slightly into gaming. But yeah, this one is watercolor and pencil. I'm pretty sure that it was Inktense and pencil. And I drew all of the wood features in here. I looked up 100 different fireplaces. We don't have a fireplace. We have a gas stove, so it looks like a stove fireplace, but it's gas. Which is good, because I can't breathe around actual wood. But I looked up a billion different fireplaces, and none of them looked the way that I wanted this to look, so I just kind of drew in wood grain. So yeah. This is one of the first holiday coloring books that I had, and one of the first images I completed out of it. And this was all done with Prisma, except for this, which is Distress ink background. And it's funny because Create Space paper is so thin that the Distress ink actually went through, and I reviewed it that way. I'm like, I have never seen Distress ink go through anything, and just wow. I mean, wow. And that was before I figured out what Create Space is. And it's just like, you see a lot of people on Amazon, they're like, oh my god, this paper's so thin. Yeah, it's Create Space. That's kind of how it goes. Like, once you get more versed in the coloring thing, it's like, yeah, duh, we all know that. Just say it's Create Space in your review, or notice the fact that it's an Amazon print. It's okay. Everyone knows now. Or we're all learning. You'll learn. This is one of those things where it was half done, and I kind of cheated so that I could say I finished one. So I started this the first Christmas and then finished it the next, which I did like her dress. There's a small video of me doing her dress. I did her face and her wings, I think, were done in Prismas. And then I finished up the baubles and the plants this year because I didn't know what color. I don't like details sometimes, so I'll stop at the detail stage. And that's what I did. And so I went back the next year and finished it. So that's all for the finished stuff, I guess. Apparently, because I couldn't find any more. If I have more pictures on my, you know, like on my social media, then, you know, obviously I finished other things. Since you saw something I finished just today, you can tell that I'm constantly working on things and either starting new works in progress or getting things finished. So I figured I would show you some of my works in progress because people wanted to see like how I leave stuff or how stuff goes, I guess. So this is one of the ways that I do how stuff gets finished. I started this, I think that's Neocolor. Actually, no, it's Inktense. I started this Inktense background and all that I did was just put, you know, color on it. It looks terrible, so I'll probably redo it with something. I did that on a plane, so it's kind of crappy. And the other work in progress is I did this in the car. And this is one of my first tries at, what do you call it, Prisma skin. Because I finally had enough Prismas to do skin with. And, yeah, you can tell how far away we are from things. Because I did this in the car driving to the movie theater. Because we have a theater up here, but it's crappy. So we went to Victorville, and you can tell how far away we were. Because I finished her entire face. So, yeah. But yeah, I didn't want to do the details, and I didn't feel like doing her hair, so I just kind of put it aside. That's how it goes. It's not that I stopped liking something, it's just I kind of get bored, or I just don't want to do that specific part, so I'll move on to something else. Sometimes I'll start things like this one. I just started the flowers at one time, so this flower and this flower are done in Prismas, and then this flower and this flower are done in Pablo's because I got rid of my Prismas. And then I did the background on this, and I think I did it like backwards or something. I don't know. I didn't like how it came out, but I didn't like the photo unanchored. So I have to figure out how I want to finish that. Because yeah, I don't like how it came out. There's so many pictures in here. I need to go back to all of them. You know, so many books. I mean, it's 145 books. It's a lot more than some people have, and it's a lot less than others to have. So yeah. And then this one is all Neocolor wash. I didn't stop liking this or anything. I just wanted to do something that was faster, which is stupid because I ended up doing books that took me days. So I don't even know why I put this aside. But I did the colors that I used, and then you can see the small detail as I started working on that fox. This one is almost done, and it'll be one of those ones where I can cheat and say, oh look, I finished another page because I got almost all the way through this coloring book. Or this page, and then I put it aside. I mean, it is almost all the way done. So I took however much time that took, and I didn't bother to finish it. That's a Dr. Seuss book. This one I know why I put it aside, because this is a lot of detail, and I want it to be that way, but it'll take some time. And I also ran out of a black pencil, which I bought 2 more recently. So I have enough black pencil, and I love the fact that they gave us the option to color black things black the way that we wanted with the shine that we wanted. But, you know, if you're going to color a panda, you need a good amount of pencil, and I just didn't have any more pencil left. But yeah, I really like how this is coming out, but it's a lot of work, and I just have to be in the mood, say, you know, one day I don't want to think, and I don't want to worry about shading or anything like that. I just want to color some bamboo. This book is ready, because bamboo is right here. This one is suffering from the fact that I have 2 of these, and I finished 3 pages in the other one, and it got wrecked. So I started, you know, here you can see more notes for myself, but, so I started the same page that I had been working on when the book got wrecked and left alone this page, which had all actually been finished and is now has to be redone. This page was also finished and now has to be redone. But yeah, so that's as far as I got on this one, and I was just so sad that my other book got wrecked that I just kind of stopped. And the idea that I'm going with this is that the girl, when she's in her house, and everything in her house is going to be gray, except for her and the cat. And then as she goes, and then the dream that she's in will always be colored. So the cat, you can see the cat will always have color, and she will always have color. But her room as a whole will always be gray. And I think it will look really, really cool when I finish it, because just the wash looks neat. So you can see, like, this is just a wash. There's no details or anything like that. It's just, this is the color that colors are going to be. So. But I love this book, and I am really sad that it got wrecked. So that's why I had to buy another one, like, right away. This one is one of those ones that I got most of the way finished and didn't want to do the details, and it's waiting for those days when I just really want to do doodles. The funny thing about this one is it tells you about the little people that are in it, and I colored the ones that I found, and they're colored silver in the page, but I can't find him, so he's not colored yet. But yeah, this is colored in Pablo's and Polychromos and Neocolor wash, and all of the little doodle things, except for the ones that are over here in the search and find thing, all of the little doodle guys are going to be various shades of yellow. I think I even have it. Excuse me, that was gross. Cystic fibrosis is gross, people. It's gross. That's hair. It's going to be like this, I think. So yeah, they're going to look like that. This was the background from that creepy kid picture in the Beauty of Horror. But yeah. So they're going to be all yellowy and orangey. And I didn't want to do the human skin, but this is one of those ones where, like, if I feel like doing doodles, this is what I'll pick up. You know, among my billion other doodle pages. Magical City. This one I started in the car with Inktense, and I just didn't finish. I didn't like how the shading was coming out because it wasn't really coming out. So I just kind of moved on. This one I did all of the wash on, and it's going to look really cool. It just needs the shading and the details. It's almost done. So I'll probably work on that next. Like, not next, but next time I work in this book. And then this, I did the waves, and I got kind of, like, distracted. And I didn't have the sticky notes at the time, so I'm not sure exactly which Inktense I used, but I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. I mean, I have swatches. So yeah, you can see I didn't even put all the water on. I just colored it, and I didn't wet it yet. In Zenya's Nova, this is seriously almost done, and I should stop being such a freaking slacker and just finish it. But at least with this, you can see the details that I added to the houses, because it didn't show up in the photos that I took. I mean, seriously, I'm paying attention to crazy details on this, and it doesn't show up in the photos. So, you know. But there's a lot of detail in this book. It's no longer one of my most expensive books because I ordered stuff from Japan and Korea and all of that. So it's actually been outclassed. But, like, if you factor in shipping, like, this was $31 from Amazon, and I didn't have to pay shipping. But there's ones that were less, but I had to pay shipping. So, it kind of goes by that. But yeah, I ended up capitulating and getting this book after passing it up a bunch of times because I love this spread and I haven't finished it. I did the fun parts and I'm like, meh, I don't want to do details. Because that's me. Another one I got from Etsy, and this was one of the very first coloring books I ever ordered from Etsy. And I love it so much, and I love the realistic animals. That always gets me. This is done with Albrecht pencils. And the way I figured is if it's a super expensive book, why not use my super expensive stuff on it? But like I said, now I've gotten rid of all the crappy, cheaper stuff. No Prismas, no nothing. Nothing cheap. I'm going to use, you know, high quality, light, fast, artist quality because that's what I like and I'm a freaking art snob and, you know, fight me. They're my books and that's what I'm going to do. And apparently, so that's kind of out the window, but I wanted to do, you know, the highest quality watercolor wash and the highest quality pencils I have. So I started with that, but I didn't get very far. I did this in a day and then I just didn't get back to it. No reason, just didn't get back to it. Same thing with this one. I did this in 2 days. Albrecht watercolor background. Didn't get back to it. I think partly I got frustrated with all the lines and this was not coming out the way that I had, you know, envisioned or thought that it should. And I just got like, this needs time to simmer. And I know when to walk away. I mean, there are many times where it's just like, this needs to sit because you don't know what you're doing. And before you wreck it, just put it aside. This I was doing last year around my birthday, and it's so cool. Unfortunately, it's done with Prismas, but I'll cover it. It's Inktense and Prisma, and I thought he looked really cool. Excuse me. I'm coming to the end, so don't worry. I know this has been super long, so if you've hung around and you're actually interested, thank you. This is one of the ones I just got recently for Christmas. And I did each of these for a day of the 30-day, the daily marker 30-day, blah. It's hard to say. But yeah, Mike gave me the flu, and so I was pretty sick, and I'm just like, you know what, I want to color a bunny. So I colored a bunny, and then I said, you know what, I want to color a bunny. So I colored another bunny, and that's all I got done. Because I didn't feel like coloring dessert thingies. So yeah. But I got bunnies done. This is one of the first coloring books I got, so unfortunately this is Prisma, so I'll have to color match because I don't have those anymore and I did not finish the purple. I don't like these things, so I'll probably wash over them or maybe make them silver. I don't know. But I did spend a lot of time looking up anemones to make sure that that looked right because I'm a weirdo. And the last one is Poison Dart Frogs. I love Poison Dart Frogs. They are so cool. Like if you look them up, and that's what I did for this. They're super cool. They're beautiful and they're cute and they're just so much fun. And I know that's not what these are, but that's what I wanted them to be. So that's what they are now. And yeah, so this whole page is going to be Poison Dart Frogs of various colors and shapes. And I really have to get back to these books because these are fun. They're it's a lot like Rita Berman, where, you know, it's a whimsical style to realistic animals. And I just like that stuff. So yeah, I have 4 of her books. I really have to get back to them. This is one of Aiko's storybooks, and thankfully this one is in English, unlike the other 2 that I have. This was done in Prisma in March of last year. And this is as far as I got, and yeah. It's almost finished. I really should just finish it. It's so close to being done. And even most of the Prisma work is finished for the stuff that needed to be done. So, like, I can just come in with a different kind of pencil and you wouldn't even notice. So, yeah, that's great. And then the last work in progress I have to show you, aside from the one I'm literally working on right now, is this one. I did the little girl. I only felt like doing 1. So, it doesn't really count when there's 6 on your page. So, I can't call that page done. But I finished her. That's the one I wanted to do. And I did look up kimono. And the kimono are freaking gorgeous. I mean, like, Pinterest that. Seriously, there are some amazing kimono out there. And I just got so, like, wow. Yeah. And the one I'm literally working on right now is this. And this is from one of the fairy books my friends gave me. And it's just 2 Copics. These 2 Copics, specifically. This one and this one. Which you can't see. There you go. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like right now, when I turn this off, I'll upload this, and that's what I'll be doing. So yeah. I hope you liked this video. This was an entire hour long, so if you stuck around for it, thank you very much. And I'm sure that I will be having more finished things in the future. Please check the links below, because those are all my social media, and all of my photos get posted there. All of my videos get posted here, obviously, but, you know, if I'm just doing works in progress or finished things, that's where it'll be. So if you want to follow me, thank you. And please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, so YouTube actually pays attention to the fact that I exist. And anything else you want to see, go ahead and leave me a comment, I guess. But like I said, I don't do flip throughs, because, you know, there are people that make their money off of flip throughs, and those people aren't me. So go visit Color with Claire or Coloring Queen, because they both do great flip throughs, and that's where I got all my books from. They're all, you know, oh hey, that's really cute, and I go and buy it. So yeah. All right, I'll shut up now. I'm sorry. And I'm going to color this. So, all right, bye.